Here's a question nobody ever asks. If humans are smart enough to build satellites, write symphonies, and split atoms, why are most of us terrible at saving money? It's not lack of education. People with finance degrees still live paycheck to paycheck. It's not lack of desire. Ask anyone if they want more savings and they'll say yes. So why, with all that intelligence, does the actual behavior keep failing? The answer is not in your bank account. It's not in your budget app. It's in your DNA. And once you understand what's actually driving the problem, you'll realize this was never a money question at all. This is a survival question, and it's at least 200,000 years old. Let's go back, way back. Picture the world your ancestors actually lived in. A small group, maybe 30 to 150 people, moving across a landscape with no storage, no supermarkets, no guarantees. The question was not, how much should I save this month? The question was, am I going to eat today? In that world, your brain developed a very specific set of rules. Rules for how to handle risk, rules for how to weigh now against later, rules for what to spend, what to hoard, and when. And those rules kept your ancestors alive through ice ages, droughts, predators, and competing tribes. Here's the problem. Those rules are still running, right now, in your head. While you're scrolling through a shopping app on your phone, your brain was last meaningfully updated around 200,000 years ago. The financial world you're navigating is maybe 200 years old. That is not a small gap. That is an almost incomprehensible mismatch between the software and the situation. So let's go through the actual rules, the evolutionary programs still running in your brain, and see exactly how each one destroys your ability to save. Rule number 1, when you find resources, consume them now. Think about what it actually meant to have surplus as an early human. You couldn't put food in the fridge, you couldn't bottle water indefinitely, you couldn't bury money and trust it would still be there next season. Resources that weren't used were wasted or stolen. The only safe storage unit your ancestors had was their own body. So the brain evolved a powerful bias toward immediate consumption. Neuroscientists call it hyperbolic discounting, the tendency to value a reward right now dramatically more than the same reward later. And it's not subtle. In modern studies, when people are offered 50 pounds today versus 100 pounds in 6 months, the majority take the 50. Not because they're bad at maths, because deep in the brain's reward system, later barely registers as real. This is the feast or famine brain. When food or money appears, the signal is, use it before conditions change, before the season turns, before a rival group arrives, before the resource disappears. You've felt this. The moment your salary lands, something shifts. A subtle loosening, a sense that there's room now. And then, without any single dramatic decision, the money is gone by week 3. Not on anything important, just gone. That is not weakness. That is an ancient brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. It saw resources come in and it spent them, just like it always has. And it gets worse when the amount is bigger. A bonus, a tax refund, a windfall from somewhere unexpected. The larger the lump sum, the harder the feast or famine drive fires, because in the old world, a large sudden surplus meant something extraordinary had happened, and the appropriate response was to consume all of it immediately before it was lost. Your brain has no concept of compound interest. It was built for a world where resources rotted. Rule number 2, losing something hurts twice as much as gaining something feels good. This one was discovered by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky in the 1970s, and it's one of the most replicated findings in all of psychology. Losing 100 pounds produces roughly twice the emotional pain of gaining 100 pounds produces pleasure. The system is asymmetric, wired specifically to overreact to loss. Why would evolution do that? Because in a world of genuine scarcity, a loss of resources was more dangerous than a gain was beneficial. If your tribe lost its food supply, people died. If your tribe found extra food, people ate better. The downside of losing was categorically worse than the upside of gaining. So the brain evolved to treat losses as emergencies. Fast forward to today. When you move money into a savings account, your brain watches a number go down in your current account. That's a loss. That physical sensation, the slight tightening, the mild discomfort, is your threat system firing. Rationally, you know the money is still yours. You know it's somewhere better. But the emotional architecture doesn't care about rationale. It registered a departure of resources, and it flagged that as dangerous. This is why people spend saved money more readily than they expect to. Once the savings are sitting there, the urge to bring them back to accessible spending is constant, because accessible resources feel safer than stored ones. Every time saving money makes you feel a little worse than you think it should, that's loss aversion, not irrationality. Survival software. Rule number 3, visible displays of resources equal power, safety, and belonging. This one operates so quietly that most people never name it, but it explains a huge portion of what we actually spend money on. In your ancestors' small group, everyone could see what everyone else had. There was no privacy of consumption. Your tools, your clothes, your food, all of it was visible. And your standing in the group, your access to mates, protection, resources, influence, depended on what others saw. Spending in ways that demonstrated resources wasn't vanity, it was survival strategy. Generosity signaled you had surplus. Good tools signaled competence. Visible possessions signaled status. Status meant safety. That instinct did not disappear. It just found new objects. The phone you chose over a cheaper model. The car that's more than transport. The restaurant you posted. The outfit for one occasion. The holiday you couldn't quite afford. These are not frivolous decisions. They are ancient status signals routed through a modern economy. And the group pressure is still there too. When your friends go somewhere and you say you can't afford it, the discomfort you feel is not embarrassment in the shallow sense. It is a much older signal, the fear of falling behind within your tribe, of being seen as less than. In the ancestral world, that had real consequences. Your nervous system still treats it that way. You are not shallow for spending to fit in or to signal status. You are tribal, as every human before you has been. The question is only whether you're aware of it happening. Rule number 4, take the guaranteed small reward over the uncertain large one. In the wild, certainty was precious. A meal in your hand was better than a larger meal you had to hunt. A known water source was better than a potentially better one you hadn't confirmed. Gambling on better outcomes was a luxury that could get you killed. So the brain developed a strong preference for certainty, even when the maths clearly favors the uncertain option. This is why people pull money out of investments at the wrong moment. Why guaranteed low-return products feel safer than index funds with decades of evidence behind them. Why cash in the mattress has persisted as an impulse even among people who know better. Compound growth is patient and quiet and takes years to show itself. It is exactly the kind of reward your ancient brain cannot feel. Certainty is immediate, tangible, real. Uncertainty, even well-evidenced uncertainty, triggers a low-level threat response. You are not bad at planning for the future. You are running software that was never designed to care about it. Here is what all of this adds up to. You are not broken, you are not undisciplined, you do not have a character flaw that makes saving hard. You are a 200,000-year-old survival machine trying to navigate a financial system that was built last Tuesday by evolutionary standards. And that system was designed with your biases in mind, built to exploit them. The way forward is not to fight your own wiring. That approach has been failing people for decades. The way forward is to build systems that work with the ancient brain, not against it. Automate your savings transfer so it happens the moment income arrives. Your brain never sees it leave. The feast or famine response never fires. Gone before the spending urge begins. Make future money feel real by naming it. Emergency fund and house. 2027 activate parts of your brain that savings account 2 never will. Concrete futures feel worth protecting. Abstract numbers feel like abstractions. Use loss aversion in your favor. Watch your savings number grow. The same system that makes spending painful also makes watching a number go down painful. Track it. Make the loss of savings the loss your brain reacts to, not the transfer in. And when you feel the pull to spend on status, name it, not to judge it, just to see it. This is tribal signaling. You might still do it, but you'll do it consciously, not on autopilot. You are an ancient creature in a very new world. The least surprising thing in that situation is that some of the old code doesn't serve you anymore. The most powerful thing you can do is see the code, and then decide which parts of it you want to run.